Well, hello and welcome to the Combank Arena in Belgrade, Serbia for Euro 2012 and to this Group 1 main round match between France and the defending champions Norway. My name's Paul Bray. Thanks for joining us again here for the Women's 2012 European Handball Championships, our ongoing coverage. Well, these two teams know each other very well indeed, having met no less than 5 times in the past year. In fact, almost exactly 1 year ago, Norway beat France convincingly in the World Championship finals in Brazil. France then beat the Norwegians on the opening day of the London 2012 Olympics, although it was Norway who went on to take gold, while France disappointingly went out in the quarter-final of the Olympics. So one match already played today. Denmark have beaten the Czech Republic 33-30, while after this match, the home nation, Serbia, are up against another Scandinavian opponent. It's Sweden. This is how the table looks at the moment. Norway came into the group with a maximum 4 points. Denmark, with their win, joined them on 4 at the top. France, Serbia, Sweden on 2 points, while the Czech Republic stay rooted to the bottom with 0. And here are the referees for today's match from Spain: Andrew Marin and Ignacio Garcia. And Andrew Marin was on the left, the bearded one. Well, there are quite a few Norwegian supporters. They do always get good support here, the Norwegians. But before we go any further, we will have the formalities of the national anthems. Starting with Norway. The Norwegian supporters bringing their own musical instruments here as well. And now the anthem of France. A very serious-looking French team, in contrast to the Norwegians, who has ever smiled their way through the whole affair. It's almost to try and put off the other team. Well, for Norway, Haraldsen is the top goalkeeper in the competition with an impressive 44% save rate. Right back Suland is their top scorer and should start today alongside Olstad and Lunde Borensen. On the line, Løkke has also been impressive, and they have 2 very experienced wingers as well. There is Suland. 17 goals so far in this competition, 378 in total for her country, playing at right back. And the goalkeeper, Haraldsen, who plays in Hungary for Giorgetto, who has now played over 200 times for her country. For France, well, their line player, Kanto Gitam, has been their most consistent player with 8 goals and an 80% success rate, and should start alongside Dembele and Signate on the wing, while Pino, Aiglon and Signate will start off at the back. It should have been Dansette, in fact, the other winger, while Darleux in goal, recovered from a poor performance against Denmark to play an absolute blinder against Sweden. Here is Claudine Mendy, 9 goals so far in the competition. And the left back who plays in Montenegro for Budućnost, plenty of power, but Baudouin is their top scorer in the competition with 16 goals, 12 of them from the 7-metre line. There is the Norwegian coach, Þórir Hergeirsson, actually Icelandic, former assistant to Marit Breivik, has taken over, and his counterpart today, Olivier Krumholtz, been in charge of the French team for some years and described by Jan Putlik, the Danish long-standing national coach, as one of the best tacticians in the business. But can he do enough here today to get his team to score past the hugely impressive Norwegian keeper Haraldsen? That's going to be the key. So 5 meetings between these teams this year. Norway won at the World Championships last year and at the Scandinavian Open friendly tournament in July before the Olympics. Since then, at the Olympics and at 2 friendly tournaments since then, in Denmark first and then in Norway 2 weeks ago, France have won each time. Not by very big margins, and in fact when they played 2 weeks ago it was just 23-22 to France in Bergen, Norway, where France won the Möbelringer Cup. And they'll hope that they can carry that through, because the pressure is very much more on the French team than it is on the Norwegians. The Norwegians have come through with a maximum 4 points from the preliminary stages, while France have only 2, a defeat against Denmark, depriving them of those possible points. So here we go then, France in the all-white strip, throw off, playing from left to right, while Norway in the all-red strip will start with a 6-0 defence. 9 players remain from Norway's gold medal winning squad at the London Olympics, and indeed 10 from that won the World Championships last year. And let's not forget they're also European champions. They've got the treble. They've had a bit of a stranglehold on this competition since 2004, winning it 4 times in succession. Kantojitam couldn't quite turn. Good defending though by Kristina Lunde Borensen, central defender for Norway, whose sister Katrine Haraldsen is in goal for them. Long range shot, comfortably parried away. Signate just tries to test the keeper, and no issues there for Katrine Haraldsen, the hugely experienced Norwegian keeper, who has over 200 caps to her name. So Breivik has gone into the left-back position. In fact, Olstad, as expected, is in the centre. And here's Sulan, the top scorer at right-back. She's in the centre for the moment. France with a 6-0 defence, but periodically just push a player out. Norway respond with 2 players on the line. That came off a defender, and it'll be a throw-in from the corner. And there is Cléopâtre Darleux, French keeper, who played brilliantly against Sweden. Actually plays a club handball for Viborg in Denmark. And the Norwegian captain Frafjord is actually a club teammate of hers. Little handoff. Signate being individually marked by Sulan. So Norway switched from the 6-0 that started out to a 5-0-1 defence against the very tall figure of Mariama Signate, 1.89 m. France resort to a long-range shot, and that could be good news for the Norwegians if they can't get the ball running around. Just on the back of a quick switch to a 5-0-1 defence. Breivik into the feet of Olstad, but they'll get a free throw. Foul early on. Well, Norway came top of preliminary Group 1, although didn't impress that much with short victories against Serbia, the Czech Republic and the Ukraine. Well, France started strongly against Macedonia, beating them by 13 before slipping by a goal to Denmark, and then recovering for a big win, 24-17 against Sweden, who themselves had beaten Denmark. Hence, the 3 teams to come through from that group that was playing in Nice all have 2 points. Well, that was a good chance there, and that's going to be free throw, I think, only given, and a yellow card. Seems to get through. You'd have to say, was that a penalty? Lunde Borensen is the player who's got the yellow card. Aiglon seemed to get past the defenders, but play on, they say, and once again the Norwegians have gone back to a 6-0 defence. France are not moving the ball around well enough at the moment. It's all a little bit stop-start, nearly getting it stolen. And finally, though, they get off the mark, 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and it's Alison Pinault, the scorer, France's former World Player of the Year. you know, who missed the final of the World Championships exactly a year ago in Brazil when Norway won comfortably 32-24. She tore her cruciate ligaments in the semi-final win over Denmark. France also then lost Signate in a bit of a freak accident when she cracked her eye socket in a training collision with a teammate, Camille Aiglon. Good save by Haraldsen of Aiglon, we were just speaking about. And back come Norway, 4 minutes played. Tentative start here by both teams. The stakes are big. Two of the big favourites from early on, and a save initially, but the ball's come back for Rigelhout, and they are level. No one to help the goalkeeper after she parried away the first shot. So Koren Rigelhout gets Norway off the mark. 4.5 minutes played. Defeat here for France would give them a bit of a headache in terms of their possibility of qualifying for the semi-final. 2 groups of 6 in the main round, and the top 2 go through to the semi only. Good save. Haraldsen spreads herself. Aiglon is still down as France come back. And the French are trying to get the referee's attention. And the Spanish referees wait till the attack is over before getting the French player treated. She's still down the far end while Breivang scores. And I can tell you that Krumholtz, the French coach, is absolutely livid. Well, she is finally up, the 27-year-old from Nîmes. She gets a push in the act of shooting. Nothing given again. And twice she's gone through, twice she's been shoved over. There's been a yellow card given, nothing for that one. So 5 minutes played, and the defending champions, and indeed world and Olympic champions, Norway, lead by 1. Aiglon. And they are pushing up with 2 defenders all the time, the Norwegians, putting lots of pressure. Kanto Jitam gets free. Penalty this time, it is given. Arm taken, and that's got to be a 2-minute suspension for Lunde Bornsen. She was already on a yellow card. Maybe a chance for Baudouin. He takes the penalties for France to level things. Here it is again. Kanto Jitam takes it, but the little shove early on. Subtle, but detected. So Haraldsen, who saved 3 from 13 penalties so far against her, is up against Baudouin. Oh, unlucky for Haraldsen. Did everything right, got to it, but there was too much power behind the shot, and it bounces up and carries on through into the goal. 2-2 the scoreline, and a power play for France. Norway changed a bit then, and Camilla Herrem, the winger, comes into the centre. Not unusual. Low shot efficiency at the moment, scoring from about a third of their shots only. Suland. There's Olstad in the centre. Coming back out again. Olstad again. Breivang, and in fact Herrem trying to add a bit of pace at the back of the attack while they're short-handed. The ball stolen, is it? No, beautifully done. Great take on the line by the captain, Frafjord. Ironically, scores against a club teammate, Darleux. Frafjord, who's been struggling with the injury coming into Euro 2012. Into the wing, lots of space there. And again, a good save by Haraldsen. Third save from 5 shots. We said before that much will depend on whether the French can get past Haraldsen, the 32-year-old Norwegian keeper. Plays in Hungary for Giurietto. She had a very average build-up in the tournaments before Euro 2012, Haraldsen, but has come good here. Well read this time. They've got a winger forwards. Over bounces it. Dembele. Did the right thing. Haraldsen put a leg up and she hit the ball down too hard and too near. And France wasteful in the extreme early on here. Just as they were against Denmark. 25% success rate on their shooting only, and that'll come back to haunt them later. So they're back to full strength again now, Norway. Suland goes in at the right back position. Nicely played, sucked the defence in. Shot straight down the middle though. Tervel picks up the loose ball and Aiglon moves it up. Pinot. And again, completely unnecessary shot, so quick. Especially when she was nowhere near getting close to the 6-metre line. Into the wing again. Well read. Herem puts it out again. Ulstad. Breivang, constant permutations at the back. They'll get the change now though. Lunde Borensen, number 9, goes off. She's being used mostly in defence. Shooting statistics don't make very nice reading, I'm afraid, the number 9 for Norway. 1 goal from 11 attempts. So maybe not so surprising she's used principally in defence. Suland, pass coming a little too late, but the French defence all over the shop. And Frafjord, standing at the back, unmarked, gets her second. And not much Darleux can do from point-blank range, and I suspect she's probably wondering what the defence were up to. Both teams have had 9 shots so far in 9 minutes of play. Norway with the better success rate though, and the better goalkeeper at the moment. The pass into the line, well cut out. Lunde Haraldsen looks for options. And they've given possession away cheaply, and a lot of mistakes being made by both sides, maybe conscious of the importance of this game. And finally, it's put away. Change the left back seems to have done the trick. Signate swapped over with Mendy. Mendy, who plays in Montenegro for Budućnost. Moved there from Metz in the summer. So Breivang in the centre, Ulstad now at left back. Suland comes around, but the ball's intercepted by Pinot, who's being held by Suland in what looks more like Greco-Roman wrestling. And Pinot looks to the referees. Nothing's given, just a free throw. She just couldn't get the ball up again. She was trying to get that lift and it wouldn't pick up. And in the end, Suland just glad to hold her and allow time for her teammates to get back in defence. 10 minutes played then, nothing in it. 4-3 to Norway at the moment. France change it right back. Marie-Paul Niabouyou comes in from Toulon. 49 internationals, 70 goals for the right back. Here she comes, number 14. Change in by Mendy. No way through though. Good defending by Breivang, who is a solid defender in that role. Here comes Pinot again. Marie-Paul Niabouyou, good shot, but well read by Haraldsen. Maybe a little too central for her own good. Niabouyou not being used in defence. She makes way for the more experienced Camille Aiglon, veteran of 150 internationals, to play in defence. Lunde Borensen, number 9, stays in the attack for the moment and goes off. Number 9 again. Well, she may have only got 1 from 11 here, but she is a proven goal scorer for her country. She has scored 466 goals in 161 appearances, but recently has been used more in that defence role. Suland, Ulstad fumbles the ball. It's given as a French throw, although it seemed to come off the French defender before it went out. So France slow things down. 5 turnovers suffered by the Norwegians, only 1 for France. The problems for France aren't so much fumbling and losing the ball, it's the fact that they can't put it in the back of the net. Haraldsen proving to be a real thorn in their side at the moment. Looking for the line and they're intercepted. That is a turnover. Rigelhout Koren looks for the long pass and he goes completely out of play. Blandine Dansette, the winger, comes up. And France bring the ball up slowly. Well, fair to say, a lot of mistakes on both sides here in the opening 12 minutes of this match. Bit of a classic, really, between these two teams. France, who was so disappointed to go out at the quarterfinals at London 2012 after starting so well with the win against Norway on day 1. And they've levelled the score here, courtesy of Kanto Jitam. Is it? In fact, no, it's Niabouyou. She had a good game against Sweden and she really seemed to be getting her confidence, the 24-year-old. She was a reserve for the French team at the Olympics, but didn't quite get to play. Norway switch at left back with Anja Edin coming in, number 11. She was in the World Championship team in 2009. Then the coach dropped her and suggested she went into the B team. She didn't want that and declined. Too long a pass. And Dansette, though, did well to control it. It was ahead of her, took a couple of bounces before she even got to it. And it meant that when she picked the ball up, she was on the 6-metre line. And France edge in front. Breivang. And another break. Dansette with a push in the back. And it's a penalty. She was bundled all the way, and in fact a 2-minute suspension as well.
7-meter throw for France.
And there's Suland. And it's one of those where, ironically, earlier I'd have been tempted to give her a 2-minute suspension. This time it's marginal as to whether that was right, but Suland gets 2 minutes. And Baudouin scores the penalty, and it's a 4-goal run by France. And 5 minutes since Norway last scored. So with France leading 6-4, Thorir Ergersson calls a team timeout for Norway. So tentative start by both teams, a lot of mistakes early on. France creating opportunities, but Haraldsen spoiling them in goal for them. And then they were 4-2 up, Norway, but since then the French have started to hit back, and a lot on mistakes by the Norwegians. Norwegians who come here with most of their Olympic gold medal winning team. But that word most is the critical one. It's some of the new players mean that they may have a little less strength in depth, but nevertheless, they always do seem to find talent in Norway, and it doesn't matter where they look, they turn up with new players that just surprise you all the time. Very calm, Olivier Krumholtz.
Alex, tu sors en défense, il y a toujours deux changements, MP et Alex. Oh, ne jetez pas trop tôt les balles, hein, et
well,
piste un petit peu.
Main thing is he's
calm.
calm.
Grandissez-vous, elle part
Don't
sur
shoot
les
too early.
Prioritaires, elle part sur ce qu'elle connaît de vous. Dès que vous tirez vite dans vos impacts, elle y est. Sautez, grandissez, et en bas ou en haut. Et ne jetez pas les balles.
And he's saying when you take your shots, just take a little longer with your shooting, because Haraldsen knows you too well, and you've just got to take your time and make her react first. Breivang. And with the team being short-handed, Curran has come round to the back, and we've got a yellow card for France. Pinot. Into the wing, no space there, unfortunately for Herem, who brings the ball out. It's stolen. France look up instead. Don't need to rush it here. They've got the extra player. They can bring the ball up and build up. Baudouin's gone in on the wing. Feeds in. Inside the area, it won't count. It went wide anyway, and France do exactly what the coach didn't want them to do, and that is to play too fast. Haraldsen happy to take her time with that throw while her team are still serving that 2-minute suspension. Come back for the free throw. Clock is still running though, so the Norwegians don't mind too much. So number 6, there's Heidi Løkke, World Player of the Year last year. So last time they tried without a line. This time, while they're short-handed, they're playing with the line. France steal the ball unfairly, say the referees, and passive play is being called, and they've taken it. Well, effectively, they put the ball down to take the free throw, but because they were standing at the spot where the free throw should be taken, the referee's agreeing with the French who snatched the ball that it was taken. The ball was open and in play. And a little mistake by the Norwegians, who are now back to full strength again. As Marit Frafjord, the captain, races back in to take her spot in the centre alongside Lunde Borensen. Lachabert has come into the attack now for France. The number 64. Top scorer in the French league so far, and that's another save by Haraldsen. 14 minutes to go, and they've got one back. Breivang. Breivang, who was left out of the team after the World Championships last year by the coach, who felt she wasn't fully fit and up to it. But she said, well, I'll prove you that you're wrong and I'll get back in again for the Olympics. And she did. And she was a key player in Norway's brilliant win at the Olympic Games. Lachabert, well, the defence suddenly going AWOL on that occasion. And Haraldsen looks to the bench. There is Lachabert, who scored. He plays in Russia for Zvezda Zvenigorod. Quite a few of the French players now plying their trade abroad. Lunde Borensen, Suland looking for options, those darting runs. Nice little jump in there by Edin. Goes around, but the ball was needed by the line player, and Darleux looks on unconcerned at the moment. Suland gets the best of Pinot. She can't quite turn, and we've got another yellow card for France now, and it's number 8, I believe, Claudine Mendy. It is indeed, for holding on Heidi Löcke, 29-year-old. Well, she'll be 30 in 2 days' time. Know what she wants for her birthday. Another European title. And a rather poor shot there, goes wide by Anya Edin. I was saying earlier then, she was effectively, after the World Championships in 2009, asked to go into the B team by the coach, who said her defence really wasn't up to it, and she didn't want to do that, so she went out of the national team, moved to Larvik. The Norwegian champions improved their defence, and she's now back. It just goes to show all these players that they're having moving around in and out of the team, the depth of talent that the Norwegians have, and it's why they have been so dominant in women's handball for so long. Lachabert looks to Goyorani, but it's stolen. Very well done as well. The break is on. Rigelhout, Koren. Oh, unlucky, off the bar. The French falling over each other, not quite realising that they were teammates. And Hergersson looks on impassively. Well, in fact, it's a save. Darleux got a hand to it. Slight clip off the keeper. And there's the reaction from Hergersson. Shot efficiency, well, that's the goalkeeper's efficiency we're seeing there. It's coming up for Darleux, who started slowly today. She's managed to get herself up to 38%. Well, in fact, counting that last one, it's now 44%. 4 saves from 9, but Haraldsen still outdoing her with 6, but she's faced 13 shots. Lachabert got a big shot, but she's in too close to be able to get the shot. Armed and passive play has been called, and they've taken too long. And this often happens. The French don't seem to heed the warning. Against Sweden, there were a number of occasions when on the attack, the referee's arm went up, and they still seem to just move the ball around as if they had all the time in the world, and then lost possession. Free throw for Norway. Lunde Borensen, 32-year-old. Edin, darting run. Saved by Darleux, but it's a penalty. Foul on Lunde Borensen. And it's a third yellow card now for Dansette for France. Suland sends the keeper the wrong way. First goal of the game for her. Sends the goalkeeper completely the wrong way. Lynn Suland, who plays for the champions Larvik. Suland, who was the second top scorer at the World Championships last year in Brazil, behind Brazil's own Do Nascimento. Lachabert. Nyabuyu, beautifully done. the 24-year-old, who's always been a bit of an understudy to Aiglon and Lacrabert, seizing a chance here at Euro 2012. Scored 4 goals so far, really came good in the Sweden match. Said afterwards, I really feel I've taken a tonic to my confidence after this game and started to realise that I can score against the best. Second line play goes in. Oh, brilliantly done. And that's Lunde Borensen at her best. Only her second goal in the competition, but armed to perfection. Got her arm right back. And that will have been, I'm sure, near to the 90 kilometers an hour. And a team timeout called by France, as the Norwegians are settling down now after having gone 2 behind.
Ça dure un petit peu. Réattaque la balle, notamment sur la balle de Claudine. Réattaque fort en attaque de balle, pas tout droit. Et après, elle peut venir en croisée. D'accord?
It's just constantly going into the minutiae, the detail of what he wants to do, correcting their decisions effectively that they're taking on court when they're attacking. But the overriding theme is the same as he had last time, which is take longer in attack. Equally calm from Thorir Hergersson. I think something here inherited from Marit Breivik, who took the Norwegian team originally to its great success with Hergersson as her assistant. There were big shoes to fill for him. It was quite awkward when, with the World Championships and the European Championships 2 years ago, when he was in charge, when he had to take over, that when said, well, if Norway doesn't succeed now, they'll say it's down to Hergersson, but luckily for him, they won both. It's an attacking foul, line player stepping in on the line. It may well have been Mendy who'd gone in on the line. Norway coming quickly, the wings were free, but it doesn't come in quick enough. That's better. Edin Gosset is now in on the left wing. And they're level. Courtesy of Anja Edin, 29-year-old, returnee. 1.79 m. They've got plenty of height on that. And so France, after a good 4-0 run, I've seen the Norwegians slowly but surely peg that lead back. 22 minutes played in the first half. A win here for Norway would put them with a foot already in the semi-final. Lacrabert goes wide. And France still guilty of making their attacks too short. They're also shooting too quickly, which is what Krumholtz was referring to earlier, that they're not hanging. They jump and shoot almost immediately on the upward curve. Saved by Suland. It's still in play. Well, a mistake by Piégeot. She ran out to try and get the ball and actually left the door wide open for Liden Gosset. Look at this. The ball comes out. She's got on the outside. She should have stayed rooted to the 6-meter line. Big mistake by the experienced Mets winger. And 3 goals without response. And the defending champions are back in front again. Norway, who are world champions, back-to-back Olympic champions, and 4 times back-to-back European champions. Attacking foul. Called against Mendy. Second time it's been called against her. Pinot creeps in very low. They've got 2 on the line at the moment, Frafjord and straight into the keeper, but it's a penalty, the foul on Frafjord, and a 2-minute suspension as well. Goyorani is off. So a chance to go 2 in front now. There's the feed in. Goyorani. She wasn't holding her per se, but it was a penalty. Nicely put away by Suland, and now Norway have had their own 4-goal run. And there is Goyorani, who's been sent off, a relative newcomer to the team. Plays for Toulon. She's actually played in Denmark for a little while, a couple of years back for Aalborg, and then eventually came back to France. So France short-handed, put Aiglon back in with Lacrabert in the centre. Signate has come back in. No one pushed up in defence, and short-handed France get the goal away. First goal of the game for Signate. Plays for Ici Paris. She too played a couple of years ago for Aalborg. So still 1 minute of a power play for Norway here to try and capitalise and get a good lead in. Signate blocks, the ball stolen, but the whistle's already gone. Back they come. Krumholz looks on anxiously. Lunde Bornsen, Edin. Sulan dummies, takes the shot. It's parried away, but again, Rigelhut. And she's been a real prowler out on the wing. Twice now she's benefited from the fact that the French winger goes off so quick when a shot's going in from the back, that if the rebound comes out, as has happened twice here already, Rigelhut Koren is finding herself unmarked. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Aiglon. Lacrabert having to pass behind the front defender. France not attacking, passive plays being warned now by the referees, and well, it seemed very short. The referee's arm was up for barely 2 seconds. Löke, and they've taken full advantage now with 2 quick goals. And a 3-goal lead for Norway.
Another goal for Norway, scored by number 6, Heidi.
Well, not looking too happy, Darleux, the French keeper. 6 saves, though, so far. Same as Haraldsen. And Kanto Gitam goes back in on the line as France get back to full strength again. And Norway change back from a 5-1 defence as Edin slops in to make it 6-0. Oh, well, Baudouin came around and from what should not have been a scoring angle from that far out, plants the ball past Haraldsen. Third goal for her, first from open play after her first 2 penalties. Some of the Serbian players arriving already. That seemed to come off the foot of a defender. Ball sent back very quickly as once again the French wingers are off like rockets. A little bit dangerous, Piégeot. So Heidi Löke takes the free throw. Heidi Löke on the line, who together with the goalkeeper plays for Giurietto in Hungary, as well as the French captain Tervel. So quite a few club teammates on opposite sides here. Blocked by the defence, that's good. No chance for the quick fast break, although Baudouin is shouting for it on the other side. Pinot. Little push and it's a free throw, and the switch in defence briefly by the Norwegians to a 5-0-1 while the French are attacking, and it's to try and break down that phase 2 of the French attack when they're coming in against the Norwegian defence before it's fully organised. It's almost as if the instruction is one of you will go back and mark the left back just to stop any rhythm at the back until we get the defence settled. If necessary, give away the free throw, and then we get back into organised phase. And we've got a 2-minute suspension. And it's Löke. And I think for a brief second there, Kanto Gitam looked to the referee because he seemed to be pointing at her to say, me, what have I done? So, third 2-minute suspension for Norway. Lacrabert. Oh, fantastic save by Haraldsen. Well, she was always potentially going to be a match turner, and it's proving to be the way. Kanto Gitam, who has been so impressive. She comes out and does those star jumps so often, and as Krumholz said to them, take your time. She rushed the shot, and the Norwegian keeper comes off better. Breivang. Lunde Bornsen. Free throw given away by Tervel. Edin turns, bit of space on the wing. Oh, mistake by Darleux. And I think even Hergersson realises that was a bit of a giveaway. Gosse. her second of the game, and it's a 3-goal lead once more for the short-handed Norwegians. Baudouin can't do too much with that, looking for the line, but dummies the ball out, surprises even Signate. They're attacking 4-2 at the moment, and she's given possession away, and Norway happy to slow the ball. And so the 2-minute suspension has backfired spectacularly on the French. They've conceded 1 goal and now given possession away. Well, losing here will not be the end for France, but it means that their fate and their chances of going through to the semi-final would not be entirely in their own hands. It would depend on other results as well. Raivang. Oh, superb. And again, the short-handed Norwegians find a way through. Edin, the player who scores a second goal. Raivang sets her up beautifully, and it's a 4-goal lead. Oh, if it carries on like this, Norway might just ask if they can play short-handed for the rest of the game. So Loke goes back in on the line. Signate and France are not looking comfortable at the moment. They're looking rattled, and that is one of their traits. And there's the last second, and the buzzer goes. Well, a good run late on by Norway. 4-1 in the closing minutes of the first half to head into the half-time break, leading 14-10 against France. The French got back to a 4-6 lead, but after that could manage just 4 goals, while the Norwegians hit them with 10. And so the early promise of the French team not quite there. Very fit team, France. They're physically strong, but mentally, if you rattle them well enough, and the Norwegians know it, they've played them often enough, you can throw them, and then the mistakes start to trickle through. 33% success only on the French attack. That's helped by Haraldsson's keeping. 47 though for Norway, and 52% with their shooting. 9 turnovers for Norway, 9 for France. The Norwegians though capitalising better. There's the long gap for the Norwegians when they didn't score, but then the French dried up at the end instead, and the Norwegians take control in what is an important game. Well, the goal scoring fairly well spread out, a lot of players on 1 and 2 goals, but Baudouin top scoring in the game with 3 goals. It's not been a very high scoring first half so far. This is where they've all come from for Norway. Well, at 6 meters, 2 penalties as well. The wings are doing well, but it's fairly nicely spread out for them, showing plenty of strength in depth, the Norwegians. For France, well, it's not quite the same picture. The wings absolutely absent at the moment. 2 fast breaks, and otherwise it's going down the middle. Well, we'll take a short break for half-time. Join us again in just a few moments for the second half in this match between Norway and France. We'll see you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main stage, Group 1, first day in match between Norway and France. First, in a spirit of fair play, please give one big applause for girls playing for Czech Republic and Denmark. After this match, we're going to be watching a match between Serbia and Sweden. Let me see, are there any Norway fans over here? Make some noise! Norway fans, please sing a song, your favorite and most famous song of your team. Whichever song you like. Come on, how well can you cheer for your girls and your ladies? Come on, all together. Norway! 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 Thank you, Norway. Now, let me see. Sweden, are you there? Sweden, come on, sing your own song. Let me hear you.
When the banner's flying high, you hear your anthem from the sky. For your country in the skies, you will give all that you got. We all wish you the best of luck, even when it's tough and dark. You play for the pride of your nation. Welcome to the handball celebration. Handball fantasy. Handball fantasy. Playing hard but fair and free. Handball dream. When the handball lands in Serbia, in the cities and suburbia, all the world just one big family.
So hello and welcome back to the Combank Arena. Half-time here in this Group 1 main round match between Norway and France. And it's the defending champions Norway who lead 14-10 and get the second half underway. France, who have squandered too many chances in the first half. And importantly been then hit on the fast break. They've got to try and capitalise on it. Edin starts in the centre with Suland at right back. Lunde Bornsen, he's had mixed fortunes in attack so far in the competition, but is certainly looking very threatening here today on the far side. It's worth remembering, of course, that Norway started slowly in the Olympics at London, losing notably to France on the opening day and then Spain, before going on to win the gold medal. They always just seem to find what it takes to do enough to win it. Edin, too many steps. And again, France mustn't rush it. That's what they've been guilty of all the time. It's quick passes, short attacks. And there you go, lost it again. And the Norwegians clinically finishing. Every mistake that France are making is being punished, and that's scored by Lin Gosse. He was top scorer in the Norwegian league last year, but is a newcomer to the the Norwegian team. 5 internationals only to her name coming into the competition, but here today, 3 from 3 for the winger. And 5-goal lead, biggest yet for the Norwegians, as France really struggled to get their footing in this game. It's good defence by Norway, but it's not astronomically good. France are just gifting a lot away, as yet another example, a second giveaway inside a minute and 40 seconds, and that's going to be punished as well. Frafjord, Pino slams the floor in frustration, but France at the moment are their own worst enemy. Frafjord's third. Kamto Jitam goes in on the attack. Signati, the number 24, tall and athletic, but expensive with her shooting. 7 goals, but 41% success rate. Here she comes, and she can sometimes just lose concentration and make very rash passes. And strange as it may seem, France's physical strength, that's their high point in a way. Where they let themselves down sometimes is with their passing, when they rush it too much, or where they almost play physically faster than they can actually cope with themselves. Aiglon, hard shot, saved. Baudouin though picks up the rebound, looks to bring it around. Good solid defence once more, as the Norwegians has killed the game and forced the French to start all over again. Pinot, Signati, she was trying to flat the defence for her. Free throw for Pinot, who couldn't quite get into a shooting position, still had her back to goal, hence no penalty. Once more Haraldsen. Haraldsen. A great performance by the Norwegian keeper. She is hugely experienced though. 3 World Championships. She played in all 4 winning European Championship sides for Norway, and in both their Olympic medal winning teams in Beijing and London. 4 minutes played, and it's 8 minutes now since France last scored a goal. Suland. Well, she lands. No one took care of her, and very happy to help herself. And Norway are racking up a big goal difference here as well. France, who actually had the best goal difference coming into this group, with +6, and at the moment they're back in the negatives. Signati. Aiglon, one of the defenders, takes the sting off the shot. It's well covered. Fantastic long pass. It's going to be a free throw. Gosset stepping inside the area. Just too long the pass, which shows you how quick a mistake at one end or save at one end can be turned around by the Norwegians, and it's hard to see how France can make their way back from this unless they can completely change their mental mindset, because at the moment it's all wrong. Well, that's more like it, and they needed that after a 9-minute barren spell.
First goal for the France in the second half. Scored by number 24.
Second goal for Signate, 27-year-old who plays for Ici Paris. Better defending by France now. France, frankly, imploding here somewhat with their attacks. Lunde Bornsen. Well, simplest to move. Lunde Bornsen goes to the right. The defender follows her but doesn't come back. So Rigelhut Koren goes straight through the hole. There it is.
18th goal for Norway. Scored by number 18. Linn Kristin Rigelhut Koren.
Rigelhut Koren plays for Larvik. Played a bit in Denmark, but that didn't suit her really, and ended up going back to the Norwegian champions. Pinot tries to open things up. Kantajitam loose, drops the ball for Baudouin to take it instead. Rigelhut Koren helps herself, and again they pay the price, and the whole bench are up on their feet. And Norway are giving the French a lesson in how to be methodical, focused, concentrated, and make your chances count. And here to get us on, must be feeling very comfortable with the way his team are playing. An 8-goal lead, who would have thought it? Looks up to the scoreboard. Krumholtz, I think, getting frustrated. The captain says, well, you know what, we're so way off now, we've got nothing to lose. We've got to absolutely go in there and, as the French expression goes, smash the barrack down. Interestingly, Edin, one of the newer members of the team, getting her few words with here. So France resume 8 goals adrift, and I'm afraid not at the moment looking like one of the pre-tournament favourites that they were billed as. Norway, on the other hand, who started slowly with small wins against lesser opposition, I'd have to say, in the preliminary rounds, are showing that when it counts, they can turn it on. Two very experienced teams facing each other here. So for the moment, it's the European, World and Olympic champions who are having the rub of the play. Baudouin, good defence by Rigelhut Koren. Passive play against France. Pinot tries it, well saved again by Haraldsen. Tenth save of the game for Haraldsen. Well, Darleux has yet to make one in the second half. She's still on 6, which is what she was on at half-time. France try a 5-1 defence with Pinot at the front. Norway respond by putting in a second-line player. There you go, nearly in, but it's going to be a penalty anyway. They have all the solutions. Good play by the 26-year-old newcomer to the Norwegian team, Gosset. Baudouin, what do you do next? She seems to be saying. Suland. And again sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Goal number 4 for Suland.
Once again, scored by number 15, Linn.
So 3 penalties scored by Sulan, 1 goal from open play in this slightly deep defence causing problems. France try a 4-2 as well. Baudouin's come in. Problem is they don't seem to have the firepower at the back. Going for the penalty, and Aiglon has got it. But she's gone down, and it looks like a heavy fall as well. Seemed to get caught on the way through. Edine sportingly comes over to check she's okay. And she goes off for a 2-minute suspension. Not sure there was any ill intent in that action by Edine. But she just caught Aiglon awkwardly, and change of keeper for Norway, who bring in Silje Solberg, 22-year-old, just 12 internationals to her name, one of 3 players in the Norwegian team who won the Under-20 World Championships a couple of years back. She's played 30 minutes so far in the competition, but hasn't saved a penalty yet from 4 attempts. Could this be the first one against Baudouin, who's scored 12 from 14 coming into this game? Baudouin, nice and slow. So Baudouin gets her 4th. But they are still woefully off the pace, I'm afraid, France. 8 goals down. And that despite Norway having 4 2-minute suspensions, maybe that demonstrating that their defence is simply more physical and more outgoing. Norway have Stine Øftedal in now, the 21-year-old, number 4, while they are short-handed. Breivang acting as a line player. France give away the free throw, which Norway are happy to take. It runs down the clock on the suspension. Lunde Borensen. Oh, Pradel. Well, they've just brought in a new goalkeeper, France, Linda Pradel. And she completely mistimes that one, looks bemused as the ball dribbles past her. There's no other way to describe it. Second goal for Lunde. And amazingly, Norway are racking up nearly a 10-goal lead here as we hit the 10-minute mark in the second half. Pinot. Aiglon intercepted again brilliantly. Rigelhut Koren comes out. Well, you looked at the results early on and you thought, well, Norway are just scraping these wins against Serbia and the Czech Republic. I mean, Serbia was always going to be awkward in Serbia, but the Czech Republic and the Ukraine lower ranked, and they still only won by a couple of goals. And you thought, well, maybe they're not quite what they used to be, but just as the London Olympics, when they need to, they absolutely turn it on. And that's what makes them such a big team. Rigelhut goes down, but passive play being called against the Norwegians. And again, Lunde Borensen fouled as she comes in. Time is against them. Krumholz, I think, absolutely frustrated with his team, who've shown the worst side of the play when they make the mistakes, when they give the ball away cheaply, and just don't show any fight either. I would be very tempted to get Tervel into the attack because she's got that passion. There is Darleux, who's been replaced after making 6 saves in the first half, but not really touching the ball in the second, other than to take it out of the net. It's Lacrabert who's been put into the centre now. Can she inject a little bit of passion? And you can see how Edine just pushes out enough in defence to stop the French attack. They hesitate that pass from the centre to the right back, and it just throws the French attack again. And now it comes down to an individual effort, and Lunde Borensen rather dismissively snatches the ball out of the air. Well, for once, France come back. Aiglon's stolen it. Tervel, the captain, goes in, but it won't be given. The whistle's gone already and she'll go off. I'd be so tempted to leave her on. Tervel, who in a time has scored 370 goals for France in 241 appearances. Actually played in Norway for Larvik, the champions, in one season, 2009-2010. And finally, someone musters the energy to put a good shot in. Aiglon. Her first of the game for the 27-year-old who plays for Nîmes, one of the more experienced players, 141 internationals. No way through, Tervel holding firm. France need to have an eye on goal difference here. They can't just give up and let it go away, much as the points already seem to be in the bag for the defending champions. Oh, nice play. Oh, unlucky. Off the post, the goalkeeper didn't touch it, so it's a throw-in. And Lynn Gosset, who came into this match with just 1 goal from 7 attempts, has really established herself here today and shown what she can do when she just lets go. Aiglon into the wing, and again the ball just about stolen. It's going to be a free throw for France, but I think there's been a bit of a tussle on the line. And here to get us on, I think, trying to understand the Spanish referee's decision. I think they've had a word with 2 of the players, have they? Well, it's another suspension for Anya Edin, involved in a little bit of a fracas with Kanto Gitam, the line player, and that's a second 2-minute suspension. She'll need to watch herself. 1 more, and it's a red card. Baudouin. And for once, Haraldsson looks a little bit sleepy in goal there. Stands too near the inside post, doesn't adjust as Baudouin goes out, and as she turns her body, Baudouin puts it round the outside. Better play by France, but they are still 7 adrift. Ball stolen. And it's Tervel, the captain, who steals the ball and finishes the job off, blasting the ball past, ironically, a club teammate Haraldsson in goal. Both play for Giorieto in Hungary. And there goes the captain, showing the kind of determination and passion that's lacking in some of her teammates. But they've actually managed to string 3 goals together to come back from the brink at 9 goals down. It's 6 now. Still a long way to go. Bai Vang. And it's been a call from the table. I'm not sure if it's a team timeout or if it's actually the table officials. It's a short buzz. It tends to be a table officials call. Have we had a faulty substitution, I wonder, or some referees having a word with Viktor Konopliasti, the Ukrainian EHF official at the table. Just waiting to see what the call will be. So France, well, a little bit of a pickup, a 3-0 exchange, but still Norway look in control. And it's a yellow card for Hergersson, and I'm not sure if he said something to the bench. It's unusual for him in a way. I'm not sure what he would have said. He's a fairly laid-back character. Anyway, play resumes. No harm done. Norway, though, still short-handed with Edin serving out that 2-minute suspension. Breakthrough, good save. Well, Pradel makes up for that rather unfortunate first goal. Oh! Well, they are lucky to score, France, frankly. The winger was completely free and begging for the ball on the far side. She would have had time to catch the ball and drive in. Instead, Aiglon had an awkward catch to make and then put the ball in the back of the net. But bit by bit, France are closing the gap here, and we're past the midway point in the second half. Free throw for Norway. Nearly 6 minutes without any goals now for Norway. Well, the team timeout seemed to work at least. They've taken the captain's words. that guys, we're in a very deep hole, so we may as well just go out there and let rip. Baudouin to the wing. Signate too slow sometimes with the build-up. She hesitates a bit. Baudouin out with a bit of... That's a good save by Haraldsen, picked up by the defence, and back out come Norway. In need of a goal here after nearly 7 minutes without finding the net. On comes the top scorer, Suland, with Oftedal now in the centre. Suland, too many steps. But if France capitalised on all the chances they had in attack, they could be in contention here, but they haven't, unfortunately. Only a 47% success rate on their shooting. Change on the wing. Dembele comes in for France. The 26-year-old who plays in Denmark for Randers. Lacrabert. Signate. Free throw. Good defence by Norway, but again, Signate, it's that hesitation. She drives in, and then there is a pause. If you watch her, it's like she pauses, and then she looks for the pass or the shot, and it's almost as if she takes away sometimes some of the energy she could have. Now she fumbles it. Coren Rigelhut's away. They won't catch her. So after 8 minutes without the goal, Rigelhut does it, gets them going again.
22nd goal for Norway, scored by number 18,
So fourth goal. Rigelhut Koren, who was World Player of the Year in 2008, hugely experienced. 3 World Championships, 3 Europeans and 2 Olympics. Lacrabert, who just doesn't want to shoot. She's staying low. Mendy, meanwhile, has come in for Signate. Finally, she takes a shot, but only after having taken 4 steps. And possession goes over, and a good run of 4 goals by France has started to stutter now. Tervel again does the captain's job as they move to a 4-2 defence. Chance for Lerke at the back now in the line player. There will be gaps there. Flat the defence, but Pradel blocks the ball out quickly. It's a long pass, beautifully stolen. And very good effort by Lerke. Started from the line and got back to cut the pass. At the end, you kind of look back at those decisions that just turned the game, those wrong passes, those long pass instead of bringing it up all the way down. Looking to the line, beautifully done. Lerke. Look at that, turns around, shoots left-handed. Second goal, couldn't quite change the ball back into the other hand. Mendy. Lacrabert needs to let rip with a few shots. Nyabuyu has come in. She's got a strong shot, but why is she looking for the line when the defence is flat? And once more they'll pay the price. That's going to be a penalty. Foul on Herem. He's taken a heavy fall. 10 minutes remaining, and France get a suspension. Piégeot. And all these little things that turn the game. There's the push from Piégeot that gives away the penalty and gets her sent off. Wrong decisions all the way through, these little wrong decisions, and they get punished by Norway each time. Suland. Well, Piégeot, or Pradel rather, just reacted too early, the goalkeeper. And so after France had done well to score 4 without reply, see how she jumps there. That's a 3rd goal in succession. And the defending champions are up and running again. Fourth penalty for Suland, plus a field goal. 9.5 minutes remaining. France still 8 adrift. The back players are just refusing to shoot at the moment. It's a little like in the match against Denmark where they tried to force the middle down all the time. The wingers got absolutely no service after that. They had the option, it was a deep defence, and they were struggling. Now, of course, they've got the extra problem of being a player short. Mendy tries to cut back inside. Good defence. Dembele hoping maybe for a penalty as much as anything else, but Rigelhut-Koren holds the line. Passive play now, and someone's got to take responsibility. Looking for the line player, and all but put it into the hand of the Norwegian winger. In fact, I think it was into the hands of Olstad, who's now gone into the left-back position. Suland. No one's defending forward. She could actually have afforded to take the shot there. That's come off a defender. It's still in play. Herem, though, puts it back out again. No rush. They've got a big lead now, Norway. They can really rotate the ball and make these long attacks, something France have not been capable of doing. And when the moment comes, well, you can always count on Suland, can't you? Goal number 6 for the right back. Well, we've seen the best of France against Sweden and the worst of them against Norway. They are now back to full strength again, though, at least. So Kanto Jitam goes in on the line. Pino's going to go off, although she's sent straight back again. The back players have got to take a bit of responsibility now and stop just constantly only looking for the line or to move the ball round. Nothing given because the ball went straight past Kanto Jitam. It was wide of her. 7.5 minutes remaining, and the substitutions take place now for Norway. Suland not used in defence, neither is, for that matter, Stina Øftedal, 21-year-old who plays for Stabæk, the number 4. One of the 3 under-20 world champions from 2 years ago, now in the senior squad. Suland again. 5 goals without reply, and the last 3 have come from that lady.
Team timeout requested by France.
France take a team timeout. I'm afraid it's all gone terribly wrong for the French. Krumholtz now calm, I think resigned to the fact that this match is just not going to come back their way. Well, no tactics this time, unusually. All he's done is just reassign jobs, who's going where, who's going to be in attack and defence, but that's it.
Vi har styringa her. Det fortsatt nøkkelen på angrepsspill og kontringsspill.
But normally Krumholtz will go through a detailed process of what's not quite working right, what needs to be changed, who needs to be driving more to the left or more diagonally the other way. And so France, after Norway earlier had gone 8 minutes without scoring, it's now France who've gone 8 minutes without scoring and conceded 5 and trailed by 10 goals here. And I'm afraid their chances of going through to the semi-final will have taken a huge dent here today against the defending champions. For Norway, well, they're not there yet, but they will be taking a big step towards the semi-final place as they maintain maximum points. Piegeot at least puts one back in again with maybe a little help from the defender's hand. But I'm afraid it's all going to be too little, too late. Quick shot there of the Serbian men's national coach, obviously coming along to take in some of the handball while he's off duty. Of course, a year ago, it was his turn here. Oh, beautiful play. And even the assistant coach, Mia Hermansson Hørdal, is on her feet on that one. Øftedal. 43 international, 60 goals. She's a great prospect for Norway. Very, very quick, as you can see there. Her height may yet be the issue for her in a way. at just 164. She's not big by international standards for a playmaker, but then again, sometimes if you've got the pace, you can work around it. So Suland back in again. And France, I'm afraid the points are gone here. It's more a question whether they can limit the damage with the goal difference. Suland. The main thing for Krumholtz is to make sure that they learn from this, but don't completely go to pieces in the rest of the games, which they sometimes have a habit of doing. They lose their way in a match and then they just can't quite pick themselves up again afterwards. Passive play is being worn. Pradel makes the save. She's actually not done too badly, Pradel. It's her fourth save. Didn't start auspiciously though with that bounced ball that she quite literally let go straight through her hands. 4.5 minutes remaining. Well, we rather hope this would be one of the classics, but I'm afraid it hasn't turned that way. Haraldsson makes another good save. It's the 12th save of the game for the Norwegian keeper. Penalty's been given. Well, France, who won the last 3 encounters against Norway, including one just 2 weeks ago, 23-22, it was tight. But it just goes to show with France that when things go wrong, they can go spectacularly wrong. And while we're watching the replay, Rigelhut Kuren, who stepped up to take the penalty instead, increases the lead yet further for Norway, and goal difference isn't going to be the issue anymore for France now. That's gone out of the window. They're going to have to make sure they win all their remaining matches and that the other results go their way. Haraldsson again. Save number 13. Good save by Pradel. Well, the French keeper, it's for Le Havre, giving as good an account of herself as she can, with the defence allowing a little bit too many opportunities. And France now put in Audrey Bruno, one of the newcomers, number 15 at left back. Played in one major competition for France so far. She came in as a replacement for Signati when she went out injured last year at the World Championships. So literally only arrived in time for the final, but never played. Here she is now. She has got a good shot on her. She lets rip. Passive play being warned now. And France almost going through the motions here. They just can't wait for this to finish. And Bruno, I'm not sure whether that even counts as a shot. It's a half-hearted pass, really. Suland. Raivang. Oh, unlucky for Løkke. Well read. Well, Norway, they've not had a fantastic build-up to Euro 2012 as Goyorani pulls one back for France. They hosted the Möbelringer Cup a couple of weeks ago. 1-1 against Sweden, lost to Denmark and France. In October, they drew against Russia and lost to Denmark and France in the Golden League tournament in Aarhus. But it just goes to show that it's not what you do before, it's what you do on the day that counts. And when it mattered, they've delivered the goods. France have an opportunity here on the break. Goyorani, and 2 quick goals back to back for her. No celebrations for the French though, I'm afraid. There's too much gone wrong here today, I think. Haraldsson trying to come out and cut the long pass, but Julie Goyorani, the Toulon line player, who had a short spell in Denmark 2 years ago, didn't quite do it. She smiles in amongst the players there. They had a job to do and they have done it eminently well, Norway. They've been really tight in defence. The French have been wasteful in attack. But to their dismay, though, the Norwegians have capitalised on every mistake that the French have made, hitting them on the break. Scoring right across the squad, the Norwegians. and have now hit the kind of form that could very well take them to a 5th consecutive European title. For France, well,
Garder du volume en défense. Faut te faire passer à 9,50 m, on pourra t'aider. À 7 mètres, on peut pas t'aider. Vous avez le même problème dans votre club. Vous vous laissez tasser et vous faites passer à chaque fois. Putain, de l'ambition, du volume, être
he
joueur.
wants ambition and he wants more depth in defence, more volume, as he calls it. And you can sense he is angry with them. He's even saying at club level you do the same thing. You bunch yourselves together and then you let them go around you, and it's you've just got to get more volume. So if you've got the depth, make sure you're not leaving the width open then. Lunde. Ball comes out again, 1 minute to go. And another goal. 10-goal lead restored. And it's Maja Jakobsen who's just come on court for the Norwegians, 22-year-old. Just played 3 times for Norway before arriving in Serbia. And the trumpets of the Norwegian supporters blare out the victory tune. No way through there. There'll be another free throw as once more the Norwegian defence marshalled by the captain Frafjord and Lunde Borensen holds firm in the centre. Goyorani gets the ball, it's closed straight away, she takes it quickly. Long range shot, Haraldsen saves again, her 14th save. And a beautiful goal, seconds from the end, brings up 30. Herem the scorer. Ironically, the one player who hadn't got herself on the score sheet drops the ball down with plenty of spin, but it all came out of the 14th save for Haraldsen, the goalkeeper. And Norway have absolutely annihilated the French here. 30 goals to 19 and take a big step towards a semi-final place. One more point will probably do it for them. And smiles all round for the Norwegians, who came in after a not particularly convincing preliminary round, but Krumholtz and his team simply couldn't find a solution here today. France by no means at their best. Defence was pallid. In attack, well, no one seemed to want to take responsibility. They made so many mistakes, and the Norwegians hit them time and time again. And in the end, it's a surprisingly large win for Norway, the defending champions, who have beaten France 30-19 here in Belgrade. Well, it will take a lot now for Krumholtz to pick up his team and somehow get them fit again for their next match. 50% success rate on the attacks for Norway, only 32% for France, 57% success rate on the field goals. France, their 19 turnovers, which were pretty well, every single one of them punished, and despite 5 2-minute suspension, Norway's defence still held hard throughout. And long gaps there. There was a spell when France came back into it, you can see, but then after that, it was Norway all the way. 5 goals without reply in an 8-minute barren spell for the French as they turned the tables on them, and from then on, there was no looking back. Baudouin, the best of the French, with 5 goals, but it's Lynn Suland who is the top scorer in the match with 7 goals for Norway. It was a masterclass by the defending champions. 5 fast breaks for Norway, 5 penalties, and scoring nicely spread out across the entire court for them. For France, well, they will have to look at this and see what to correct. And very sparse. Successful down the middle up to a point. 4 fast breaks. The wingers weren't there, but more than anything else, the left and right back positions dead today for France. They were absent. And so Norway, maximum 6 points at the top, ahead of the Danes who won earlier today. France stay down in 4th place behind Serbia. Sweden, though, are up next to play the hosts. Well, that's it then. Norway have won. Hope you enjoyed the game. But for now, from me, Paul Bray, until next time, goodbye.
Norway.